Hello everyone, welcome back to the lecture series of Learning Theory of Automata and Formal Languages. My name is Binayak Parashar. I am working as an assistant professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering at Ajay Kumar Garg Engineering College. So this lecture series we have started off, and this is your lecture number 7, where we will be looking into the topic which is known as the equivalence of the concept of the finite automata with output. Till now we have seen finite automata without output, that is the concept of deterministic finite automata, then the concept of non-deterministic finite automata. We have also seen the concept of non-deterministic finite automata with null moves, that is epsilon transitions. Then we have seen some of the equivalence of this NFA and DFA, for which we have tried to convert an NFA to a DFA. Later on we have seen that if we got a DFA, finally, can we optimize that? That means nothing but how to minimize that particular DFA. Thereafter, we have seen one more thing, that is how this particular conversion of NFA to DFA relate to the particular property which is known as whether every DFA is an NFA or every NFA is a DFA. So these particular topics are very, very important, very, very crucial points, because with these basic properties only you will be able to understand all the remaining units. Okay. Now we will come across to the another part of the finite automata, that is with output, and let's check it out what is the agenda of today's session. So today we will be trying to discuss about finite automata with output. Okay, and finite automata with output comprises of two machines. One is Moore machine and the other one is your Mealy machine. So we will try to look into this particular topic in a broader way. So in overall, if we look into this particular graph, okay, you can check that what is the hierarchy of this finite automata. Okay, how this finite automata is related with each other. So if we talk about finite automata, we talk about finite automata with output and without output. Okay, so this is the two basic things that we should know it. And if we talk about with output, it comprises of Moore machine and the other one is your Mealy machine. And if we talk about finite automata without output, we will talk about these three machines. The machines are DFA, NFA, epsilon NFA, or NFA with epsilon transitions. Till now we have seen all these machines in a proper way, and we have tried to look into the difference of all these machines while doing the exercise questions, because one is a very good approach of understanding the difference between different types of topics is that by practically implementing those. So if you have tried to design a DFA, if you have tried to design an NFA, if you have tried to design an NFA with epsilon transition, definitely you have come across all the differences between them. Okay. So then let us discuss now the concept that is known as finite automata with output, which is known as Moore and Mealy machine in a proper way. But as a whole, if we want to remember the thing, this Moore and Mealy machine, it particularly works under the concept of DFA. It has a particular set of rules of DFA, right? For every state of machine, for every input, it has exactly one transition which is going to another state or to itself, not more than one, not less than one. So that is the general configuration of a DFA, or you can say a restriction of a DFA construction. So the same concept also follows by Moore and Mealy machine, but with another concept, that is output. Now this particular concept with output actually confuses us, that why we are having a finite automata without output, where we are trying to showcast the particular accepting state by a double circle. Okay, but that particular concept has been replaced here, and here we will try to look only with the state diagram only, and in that particular state diagram we will sometimes occur output, or maybe in the transitions we may occur output. So whenever we occur, or whenever we encounter, or whenever we are designing a particular machine where this particular output, that is nothing but the accepting concept or accepting alphabet, occurs with the state, then that particular machine is named as Moore machine. That means output is associated with states, and whenever the output is associated with the transitions and the states and the present state, not all the states, present state, then that particular machine is said to be Mealy machine. This is just an overview. Let us check this particular concept in a proper way. But before that, we will try to look into the formal description of these two machines, because overall in the previous lectures we have tried to understand these machines in the terms of 5 tuples, okay, what are nothing but Q, sigma, initial state, final state, delta transitions, okay. So these are the basic 5 tuples with the help of which we were trying to describe a particular finite automata, right? So let's check out first topic, that is your Moore machine, and let us define the Moore machine in terms of its formal description. So if we talk about formal description of Moore machine, now it has increased from 5 tuple to 6 tuple, okay. What is that extra tuple? Definitely if you talk about output concept, now output will also require some extra configuration, for which 5 tuple has increased to 6 tuple. And the most important specification line for this machine is that finite state machine where the output is associated with states. So you need to remember this particular concept, that output, whenever it is associated with states, that is said to be Moore machine, regardless of next topic, that is Mealy machine, where the output is associated with the present state, as well as the present input. I will let you know the structural diagram of it. Now let us discuss about the general formal description of these two machines. If we look into the formal description of Moore, if we look into the formal description of Mealy, both are comprises of the same number of tuples, that is 6 tuples only. Only the difference where it lies, let's check with Moore machine first. Q, which we already know, finite number of states. Sigma, which we already know that the number of input alphabets. Now we will not talk about the states as a final accepting or rejecting state. Now we will talk that particular state in the form of an alphabet, which is known as output alphabet, and for this output alphabet we are designating by this particular O, okay. Then next, delta, we know about the input transition function. Now as we have a output alphabet, definitely according to that output alphabet we need an output transition function also, and that is nothing but capital X, and then Q naught, okay. So therefore we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Q naught is the initial state. There is no F, that is final state. Okay. Same way we go with Mealy machine also. Q, sigma, then output alphabet, then delta input transition function, capital X output transition function, and Q naught is the initial state. So both the number of tuples are same. Now you can pause the video and you can think of it, what is the difference between these two machines. The machines lies where the output is associated with states. In the case of Moore machine, definitely we will talk about this output transition function and this delta transition function. These are the two things which are the important one, and where the difference lies, this output transition function in both the cases, okay. So this is the difference in both the cases. So in first case, that is in the case of Moore machine, output is associated with states. That's why I have said that for an output transition function capital X, all the states are associated with output, correct. So that is the main definition of what Moore machine is all about. Same way, if we comprise this thing, that the number of states comprising with the number of input alphabets is associated with the output alphabet, then that will be the transition function for Mealy machine. I hope it is clear now. So this is the general difference between Moore and Mealy machine. Later on in the last slide, we will try to check some of the other differences also, okay. Now let us come across with the designing process of Moore machine, okay. Now whenever we talk about a machine, as of now we have tried to implement that with the help of a language given to you. Then that language comprises of strings, and these strings are in the form of an input to the suppose I am the designer, and I will design that particular machine based on the input which is based on the language given to you, okay. Now the question comes here, first question comes here, construct a Moore machine. I need to construct a Moore machine that prints A, okay, whenever the sequence is 0, 1. That means whenever the sequence is 0, 1, it prints what? A. So this is what a simple thing is being told by this particular language. Apart from that, is there anything? And then convert it to its equivalent Mealy machine. Now this particular point we will try to check in the next presentations, why? In the next class probably. Why? Because first we will try to check how to construct this Moore machine. First, we will try to check how to construct the Mealy machine. Later on, we will try to check the equivalence property between both the machines. First, we will try to analyze this. Whenever the machine is printing, suppose 1, 1, definitely it will not print A according to the machine. So that means output alphabet, if it is 0, 1, then it will be printing A. Otherwise, it will be printing some other output alphabet, say suppose B. This means that whenever it is showing B, then it means that the sequence is not 0, 1 other than that. And that will be defined by the machine. Okay. So now how to design this? The most initial level of working is that the basic initial string, that is nothing but 0, 1. Okay. So try to design that. See, I have taken a state A, capital A is a state, B is another state, C is another state. Okay. First, I have made the transition for 0. See, initial string I am talking about 0, 1. So for 0, I have taken a transition from this to this. Okay. From A state to B state. Then for 1 transition, I have drawn from B state to C state. Now tell me that whenever we encounter a 0, 1, then it should print what? A. Therefore, in the state C, we have declared this as A. We have declared this as A. That means we came to know that whenever the sequence is 0, 1, we are printing what? A. Other than that, I am printing what? B. I hope it is clear to everyone. Right? Other than that, it will be printing B. Okay. Now come across with other possibility cases. What this Murray and Mealy machine acts? It acts as on the basic property of what DFA says. Like for every state, for every inputs associated, there should be exactly one transition going to another state or to itself, exactly one, not more than one, not less than one. Correct? So therefore, I have done for 0. Now I have to check for state A for input transition 1. Can I put a self loop? Yes, I can put a self loop. If I put a self loop, then 1 will be infinite times and then it will end by what? 0, 1. As soon as it encounters 0, 1, A will be printed. Clear? Next comes, so therefore state A is done. Next comes state B. State B, 1 is already been printed. 1 transition is already there. Can I take a self loop of 0 over here? Yes, I can take it. It will not affect. Why? Because whenever there will be a 0 followed by 1 only, then it will be reaching state C where the output is as what? A, which is asked by the given language. So therefore state B is also done. Now come to state C. State C doesn't produce as any of the transition for 0 and 1. So now if I take a dead state over here, I can take a dead state, but try to remove this concept from your brain that if we can examine this particular dead state concept, then we will try to get a particular optimized diagram if possible. If we are not able to satisfy that, definitely for DFA we need to introduce a particular dead state. Same in the case of Murray also. So what I will try to do for input transition 0, can I do a backtrack to state B? Yes, I can do it. If we do then 0, then 1. Again it will print what? A, according to the language. If I take a 1 transition over here, then it will affect the scenario. Then it will 1, 1 will also end with A. So I cannot take a 1 transition from here, but I can take a 1 transition backtrack to state A, which I have done. And if we look into this scenario, our diagram is done. So this is how you need to design a Murray machine. I hope it is clear now. Okay. Now let's go to the next question. Okay, before going into the next question, definitely we need to look into the another way of representing any machine is your transition table. In the case of Murray machine, as states output is associated with states, so till here I will draw the DFA part or any finite automata. Then automata with output we have to introduce. Okay, here I will do the basic diagram that we generally do. State A, B, C, then 0 and 1 is the input symbol. A on seeing 0 where it is going C, A on seeing 0 it is going to B, A on seeing 1 it is going to 1. So B, A. In a similar process I have tried to design for other states as well. Now coming one more extra particular column that is known as your output alphabet. For here, if we look into the diagram, with A, B is associated, output B is associated. With B, state B, output B is associated. with C, output A is associated. So therefore, I have written A, B, 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 A, C, A. So this is how you need to write the or draw the transition table for a particular Moore machine. We will try to look into the next question where we will try to design a Mealy machine, which has been asked over here. But I will try to tell you one thing, that as you know how to design a DFA in a proper way, where we generally use this as an accepting state, and normally other than that will be the rejecting state. In the case of Moore machine, it becomes a little bit easy for you to design the same way. But in the case of Mealy machine, you have to analyze every transitions, because Mealy machine is the one where output is associated with the input transitions, not with the states. So you need to keep on rethink about this, and you need to analyze in the same way. So that's why what I will try to do, first I will try to design the Moore machine, and from that Moore machine I will try to convert it into Mealy machine in an easy way. So this is the way how we can do it. See, first I will not look into the machine part, I will just concentrate on the Moore part, because in Moore output is associated with the states, right? So that means let us design first of all Moore machine. Okay, thereafter I will convert it into Mealy machine. It says construct a Mealy machine that forgot about this, that takes the set of all strings over input alphabet is given as 0 and 1. It says that it produces output A. It produces A as output if input ends with 1 0. So whenever input ends with 1 0, it produces output as A. So let me design for it. So I will draw an initial state. Whenever 0 and 1, it will produce a particular state where it will produce A as the output. I haven't given the state names as of now. Okay, sorry, it's not 0 1, it's 1 0. Okay, it's 1 0. I am done. Next comes that if input ends with 1 0, okay, or produces B as output if input ends with 1 1. So 1 1 means what? It will produce as B. Now if we look into this scenario, initial strings I am drawing. Okay, later on we will try to consult with the DFA properties. 1 1. So from the initial state, 1 transition is already there. Can I draw a 1 transition over here and put it into this state and put it as what? Output as B. Whenever it is ending with 1 1, it is producing as the output as B. I hope it is clear now. Next comes otherwise it produces what? C. Otherwise it produces C. Definitely these states will become as what? C. Now the main concept is done. Now I just need to satisfy the DFA property. If we look into the initial state, 1 transition is there. Can I take a self loop of this 0? Yes, I can do it, because 0 1 0 0 0 will give you output as C, which is satisfying the language. 0 0 0 0 then 1, it is producing output, no issue. 0 0 0 0 1 0, it is producing as A. That means 0 0 0 1 0, it is producing as what? A. And it is the same as what the language is asking. Whenever input ends with 1 0, then it produces A. Otherwise 1 1, it produces B, otherwise it is C. So that means this state is done. Let me name as this as Q0. This is Q1, Q2 and Q3. Okay. Now let me go to Q1 state. Q1 state, for both 0 and 1 there are transitions, so leave as it is. For Q2 state there is no 0 and 1 transition. So what I can do, can I take a backtrack of it? If I take a backtrack, I have to take the backtrack as 1. That means 1 0, it will produce as A. If I have to take 0, then I can I take 0 over here? I cannot take 0 over here. Besides, what I can do, I can take a 0 transition over here. It will not affect my diagram. See, 1 0, then again 0, then again 1 0 1 1. So it will not affect the diagram. So this state is also been done. Now coming to this state for 0 and 1. So for 1 I can take a transition like this. For 0, where I can transfer? 0 I cannot transfer, 0 I can transfer to here. It will not affect, right? So that means this is the general diagram of it. Now let me erase some of the parts so that you doesn't get confused. Okay. Okay. Now this is the perfect diagram of the given language into a Moore machine, not a Mealy machine, right? Okay. Now we need to check what is the property of Mealy machine. Mealy machine says that for every input, for every output, it will associate with the present state as well as the present transition. That means look into this particular concept. Now the output will associate with the transitions. Transitions means these arrow diagrams, these arrows. Okay. This will be the one where the output will be associated. So if you look into this particular, first comes with this particular transition 0, where it is entering to state Q0, whose output is what? C. So just write down here as C. As simple as that. Now you need to follow this particular concept with every other transitions. Look into the next transition from Q0. 1 is entering into Q1, whose output is what? C. Correct? Then look into this Q1 state. Q1 is having this 0 input, where it is entering into Q0, whose output is what? A. Then from Q1, one input is going, where it is going? It is going to Q3, whose output is B. Now from Q3, one input is going to Q1, where it is, whose output is what? C. Then from Q3, 0 input is going, where? Q0, whose output is C. Now comes Q2. Q2, 1 is entering into Q1, whose output is C. And Q2, 0 input, it is entering into Q0, whose output is C. So now my transitions are done. What I need to do? I need to do a rough work. That is, I need to erase this particular outputs which is associated with states. And this is, my dear students, is your Mealy machine. So once you are done with the Moore machine part, it will become easy for you to convert into Mealy machine. Just you need to check where the transitions is entering into the state. Wherever it is entering, that state output will be giving you this one. So once you do this practice, it becomes easy. Nothing to do, no need to do the Moore machine as of now. Then you can directly design a Mealy machine. I am just trying to describe how this Moore machine was and how the Mealy machine looks as it is. Okay. So this is the concept. Now if we talk about a transition table for this, transition table will look like this. Here for every input, output will be associated. For every input, output will be associated. How to do that? See, look into the previous diagram. Q0, Q1, Q2, Q3. So 4 states are there. Q0, Q1, Q2, Q3. Okay. Now Q0 on sync 0. Q0 on sync 0, where it is going? Q0. Q0 on sync 1, where it is going? Q1. Okay. Then similarly, just I am trying to design, then Q1 on sync 0. Q1 on sync 0, it is going to Q2. Q1 on sync 1. Q1 on sync 1, it is going to Q3. Okay. Then Q2 on sync 0. Q2 on sync 0, it is going back to Q0. Okay. Then Q2 on sync 1, where it is going? Q2 on sync 1, it is coming back to Q1. Then similarly Q3 on sync 0, it is going to Q0. And Q3 on sync 1, it is going to Q1. So this is the done. Now whatever outputs is associated with it, Q0, if you look into the Q0 output, it is output is C. Okay. Then Q1 output is what? Now you need to check the output of this 0 entering into Q0 is C. Correct? Then Q0 output associated with 1. And where it is entering Q1, whose output is what? C. Like this, you need to fill it up. So Q1 on sync 0. Q1 on sync 0, it is entering Q2, whose output is what? A. Then Q1 on sync 1, it is going to where? Q1 on sync 1, it is going to Q3, whose output is what? B. So like this, my dear students, you need to fill up the entire state diagram, state transition table. So this is how the state transition table can be represented in the case of Mealy machine. The rest you can fill it up in the same way. Now coming to the next question. Next question is just a question. You just take it as a language as of now. Why? Because here it is telling that construct a finite machine with output. So you can create either Moore or you can create a Mealy. Only for the question I have given to you. regarding this question, particularly in example number 3, we will look. Okay. So in example number 3 says, the question is exactly similar, where in this question it is asking that set of all input strings A and B and counts the number of occurrences of the substring ABB. Okay. The same question, if you can look in here, AB as input and prints 1 as output for every occurrence of AB as a substring. So whenever we get AB as a substring, say suppose I am having a string B, 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 A, B, AB, B, B, AB, AB. Now, if you look into this particular string, it is a small string. If it is a very big string, you need to find out the every occurrence of AB. How to do that? Whenever AB is ending, it will produce the output as what? 1. It is asking, right? It will print as 1. Whenever it is accepting this particular string, 1. Now, how many times 1 is coming? 4 times. That means AB will also be occurring 4 times in this particular string. You can pause the video, you can check it out. Correct? So, this particular concept only they are asking to design in the form of a Mealy machine. Okay. So, how to design this kind of concept? Okay. It says that construct a Mealy machine that takes the set of all strings that produces and prints 1 as output for every occurrence of AB. For every occurrence of AB. Correct? For every occurrence of AB, it will produces 1. Otherwise, it will produces 0. It is not mentioned in the question, but you need to take another output alphabet, which will generally say that this is not a accepting according to the language. Other than that, you just need to focus on the diagram. If I start with B, it will not affect the diagram B, A, B. Okay. Now, if so, this particular for this it is done. For B, I need to take a transition. So, can I take a self loop of A? Yes, I can take it A n number of times and A, B gen 1. Correct. So, this is also done. Stage C. If I take A transition over here, perfectly done because AB, 1 only it will print. For B, so it is almost similar to what you have done in this question, the similar example only. Correct. Just I have tried to mention you the occurrence concept, what actually the occurrence concept is all about. If we talk about this Mealy machine, it is asking about Mealy machine. So let us do it fast. B is entering A is entering B, output is what? 0. A is entering B, output is what? 0. B is entering state C, output is what? 1. C, A is entering state B, output is what? 0. C is entering state A, what is output? 0. Anything left? No. Just take the eraser and erase it. Okay. So once you get in practice, then you can directly draw this particular diagram in an easy way. So right now I think I have tried to make you understand what is the designing process of a Murray and Mealy machine. Let's take the differences of it. Output depends on both the present state and the present input, which we have discussed. Output depends only on the present state, not only in transitions. It has fewer number of states, definitely, and it has more number of states in the case of Murray machine. Mealy machines react faster to inputs. I'm taking the short topics right now, then I will discuss about this. Mealy machines react faster to inputs. Why? Because it is associated with input transitions, and generally they react 1 clock cycle later, as it is depending on the state by state, and input need to then the flow of the input will depend on one state to another state. Definitely it will take 1 clock cycle later than in comparison to the Mealy machine. And then looking into the last point, the value of the output function is a function of the transitions and the changes. Definitely it will be depending on the transitions, as Mealy machine, as in the case of Mealy machine, output is associated with the transitions. When the input logic of the present state is done, definitely when the input of that particular state from the state is done, then depending on the transitions, the output function is reacting. Okay. But in the case of Murray machine, the value of the output function is a function of the current state and the changes at the clock edges. Whenever state changes occur, then depending on the changes of the clock's edges, the value of the output function will change or will react. So this is the differences between Mealy and Murray machine. Now let's come to the last part of the today's session, that is the applications of Murray and Millie machine. Let's now discuss only the part like where it is being applied. Later on we will try to relate with it. A Murray machine is used as a write enable in static RAM, okay, because of the speed. Okay. Next, elevator. If we talk about an elevator moving from one particular position to a higher position, or from a higher position to a lower position, everywhere, if you talk about these floors where you stop the elevator becomes the states. So definitely this particular is a very good example of Murray machine, as Murray machine output is associated with every states, or these states can be considered as the floors. Then Millie machines are used in processors, because in the case of Millie machines, if we look into this particular concept, Millie machines, we definitely dependent on the transitions. That means if we talk about a particular MS, if you open an MS Word Office, okay, and you try to execute that, then definitely for that, if you look into the case of Millie machine, for every transitions it depends, and for every transitions Millie machine react faster to inputs. So therefore it is used in the case of processors, not Murray machines. Millie machines are explicitly used in cipher machines. We will try to look into this particular point once we done with the equivalence of the concept. So cipher machines, in the case of cipher machines, these Millie machines are the one which is being used, because if we talk about the comparison part, Murray machines, in the case of Murray machines, it is one clock cycle later in the case of Millie machine. So that's why in the case of huge cipher machines, this Millie machine is used as a basic like a mediator, okay, or a basic organizer, okay. So this is all about the applications of Murray and Millie machines. I hope in today's lecture you have tried to understand the definition of finite automata with output, which is nothing but defined by Murray and Millie machine and their designing processes and some of the applications. So in the next class, we will try to come up with the equivalence concept of these Murray and Millie machines, and we'll try to check how these machines can be converted to each other. Okay. So thank you for watching this video.